What's going on, everybody? This is the College Football Daily, and we have a bonus episode for you today. Special guest is going to join me, Brian Orakpo, the four-time Pro Bowler, former Big 12 Defensive Player of the Year, and, of course, the 2005 BCS National Champion with the Texas Longhorns. I am your host, Nick Kosko, and, again, very special episode. Brian, thanks for joining me, man. I got to love it. I'm really enjoying talking to you, my man. It's an absolute pleasure. But first, we got to bring you in as to why you're here today. You're promoting Caesar Dog Food. Of course, you're hosting a watch party, I heard, in Nashville. There's a big football weekend, actually, this weekend.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'll be in Nashville this Sunday for the Titans game day hangout. It should be a lot of fun. It's the very first pet-friendly home gate experience we're having. I'll be there along with my dog, Biggie. Biggie is not named after the rapper, but he's a small miniature dog, so I had to name him Biggie just for a catch-22. So when you see him, it's just something fun. And like I said, Caesar's put something. This event been going on for a while. They put this event on, and it's been great. And I'm just excited to be a part of it. Again, normal Sundays, you're with your friends, you're with family members, things of that nature. I'm a big dog lover, and I wanted to kind of be a part of a brand that wanted to experience your traditional game days with your favorite pet. So again, it'll be on 6th and Peabody. It'll be this Sunday. Please follow the Tennessee Titans social media page, Twitter, along with Caesar.com for all your details to experience this as well.
No doubt. All of our Nashville peeps are going to like that at 24/7 Sports as well. So please, I'm very happy that you join us on the College Football Daily as well, my man. So, I mean, you're a Texas alum, and obviously we have a high focus on college football. And there's a big college football game this weekend. Your Longhorns taking on the Oklahoma Sooners in the Red River Shootout. I got to ask you, man, what does that rivalry mean to you as a Texas alum? I mean, you're obviously a part of a big-time era of Texas football as well.
Yeah, it means everything. That's still probably a highlight of my football career, whether that's from junior to the highs of the NFL. So just everything about that game, it symbolizes just rivalry, just hatred towards one another. It's crazy because a lot of players on OU are born from Texas. And then obviously with Texas, we have a lot of homeborn players as well. But just walking through that tunnel, one side burnt orange, the other side's crimson red. You hear boos, you hear cheers. You got fried everything at the state fair. I mean, it's just a remarkable experience. And the cool thing about it, if you win the game, you got more time to go to the festivities, enjoy your fried pretzels and fried Oreos, and fried everything. Just have a great time, but just a big time rivalry going down.
Do you have a favorite memory from that game specifically? Because I mean, you played at Texas for a few years before you had your 10-year NFL career, but is there something that sticks out from one of those Texas-Oklahoma games?
I made a lot of great plays in there, man, but I'm gonna do it more this way. There's one play that Brian Robinson, y'all remember him, Minnesota Viking for a long time. He sacked the quarterback so hard. I don't know what the quarterback was at the time. And then Roger Wright, our defensive tackle, scooped the ball up and ran it for like 60 yards. And just to see big fella running down the field like that, score a touchdown, he needed the oxygen mask after he's done. It was that really set the tone for that game. And actually, that was our championship run for us to go out there and win the championship that year in the BCS. But just that one play really set the tone for the season.
You got to love big man touchdowns for sure. And speaking of that national championship season, of course, a lot of Texas fans like to hang on to that, but there could be a new era of great Texas football coming up. And we'll dive into that in just a second, of course. But take me back to that national championship season because, again, everyone likes to pinpoint to that Texas USC game as one of, if not the greatest college football game ever played in the history of the sport, which is saying something considering the sport itself is over 150 years old. So take me back to that game and just the mindset you had and you guys going into that game, going against a team in USC that was, frankly, the dominant force at the time of college football.
Yeah, that was actually the first year or one of the only years that the BCS actually worked, to be honest with you, because the two best teams are literally facing off against each other. And just that game itself, it was the Rose Bowl, USC, that's their home. I mean, so we're already in a disadvantage with the territory we're in. And just for all the talk leading up to that game, as USC, they compete against NFL teams, and they got pro players at every position, and Texas doesn't have a chance. And we're gonna get blown out or whatever the case may be. But when you really stack those rosters together, side by side, I mean, it's literally neck and neck. We got elite players that played in the NFL as well at every position. Same with them. So we knew it was the state of Texas versus the state of California, two big football state programs. We knew it was going to be a dogfight, and it was. And it all came down to the end. But we got one lucky charm on our side that wears number 10. And doesn't get much better than having BY on your side.
I was just about to ask you about Vince Young himself, and obviously a college football legend, had himself a long NFL career as well. But what was going through your mind during that final drive? Of course, you being a defensive star on that team, you had to sit on the sideline. You had to watch the offense go down the field. I mean, everyone must have been just so nervous and just hanging on tight to everybody else during that final drive. And obviously, he ends up scoring the game-winning touchdown, one of the more legendary moments of the sport. I mean, take me back to what was that sideline like watching that drive unfold, and ultimately you see Vince Young cross the goal line for the game-winning touchdown?
Oh, it was unreal. It was unreal. It's probably one of the few times, maybe the only time, where I was the guys on the sideline, all the defensive players, we were fans of the game just watching. Like, we were literally like, we played in the game, but now we just turned into fans because we're just watching Vince and company just go to work and just dice the USC defense up. And we're literally just holding hands after every big play or every big catch or every big throw or run. We're literally holding hands, just praying that everything goes according to plan, that we all schemed up. And man, it was just remarkable to be a part of. Just to even, and I was a redshirt freshman at the time, just to even play in that game and be a part of it and contribute. And watching Vince and the rest of the guys go to work, man, it really set the tone for our program, because once those guys left, myself, a lot of the other young guys that got to experience that, we wanted this feeling again, and we wanted to carry this program into the future to represent those guys that did their thing on that field. So
I always found it interesting because you were one of the young guys on that team, and a couple of years later, I mean, you spent a couple more years at Texas before you ended up going to the NFL. What was your frame of mind like going into your next couple of seasons with the Longhorns, knowing that, well, we already reached the mountaintop? Was it pretty much we have to do this again? Is there a different type of work ethic? I mean, what was going through your preparation, your day-to-day preparation, as you try to become a better college football player, ultimately trying to get to the NFL, knowing that you already reached the height of heights in college football?
Well, we wanted to do it again, but with a new supporting cast. We wanted myself, along with Roy Miller, and now we got a new quarterback in Colt McCoy. We wanted to carry that torch. We wanted to keep Texas a part of one of the elite teams in college football, and we took it upon ourselves. We took it as a goal, as a task, as a motivation. Where the 05 team was special. It doesn't get better than that, but we wanted to surpass, if not be greater than that, with such low expectations. And we did that. We really did. We just could not win it at the end, unfortunately. But myself, Roy Miller, Colt McCoy, Quan Cosby, what the seniors did, we took it upon ourselves. Jordan Shipley, Chris Obanaya, we took it upon ourselves to make those guys, that Vince Young, Justin Blaylock, Michael Huck, we wanted to make those guys proud on what we were doing with this program when those guys were already in the NFL.
Before I get to the present day, I was curious about your old coach, Mack Brown, who, of course, came back to college football. He coaches North Carolina now. I mean, I don't know how much you have kept in touch with him currently, but what would you say he was like then compared to now? Now that he went back to North Carolina, he's basically coaching a different type of program now at this stage, considering the sweeping changes in the college football landscape. So take me back to what he was like then, and what you think or what he's like during the present day.
Yeah, from what I see afar, he seems like he's the same Coach Brown. The guy is. Man, he is a very demanding coach, but he's going to have a lot of fun with his players, and treats it like a family. That's what I see. Talk to him periodically here and there, but just from what I see afar, with him dancing having fun with the guys, cutting it up. But when the cameras are off, very demanding coach that wants the best for his players and his coaches. You want to put everybody in position to be successful, but not just on the field, off the field as well. That's very important to him. And his enthusiasm to the game, what he brings, him and his wife, Sally Brown, Mrs. Sally Brown, I should say. But they know how to change the program. Same thing they did with the University of Texas back in 98, 99, whatever year that was. The same thing he's doing with North Carolina again. So definitely proud of him, what he's accomplished so far, and nothing but the best for the future of that program.
So let's switch gears now to another part of the present day, which is the Texas Longhorns. Of course, your alma mater right now. They are under year 2 under Steve Sarkisian, looking pretty good right now. And based on reports coming out today, starting quarterback Quinn Ewers is back for the Oklahoma game after his injury. So, I mean, we know how high profile of a transfer he was coming over from Ohio State, Texas boy himself coming back home. What have you seen from the outside looking in at this point with Texas and how they have been able to build from year 1 under Sark to now year 2, where it looks like, you know what, they might be a legitimate Big 12 contender here in 2022.
Yeah, definitely. We took a very, very disappointing loss to Texas Tech weeks prior, but it seems like and the most important thing I always love is the way they respond after adversity. And they did that with the Alabama game. After the Alabama game, huge loss. Very, very disappointing loss that they took in that close game. They were able to bounce back. And then they had another loss with Tech. They were able to bounce back. So that's what's been missing from this program from a while, able to bounce back. So instead of those 1 losses happening that converts to 2 or 3 losses consecutively in a row, they're able to bounce back, get back on track, get back to the winning ways that Texas is all about. And Coach Sark is leading the way. And it's great to have Ewers back in the rotation because we all seen a glimpse of what he did in Alabama. I mean, the sky's the limit with that kid, man. He knows how to sling it. The guy is game ready, and he knows how to rock and roll. So I'm excited he's back. So we'll see what happens.
So he's actually a gamer. Of course, we know how good he can be. And like you said, showed some glimpses against Alabama. So one more on the quarterback front for you. Obviously, the big commitment from Arch Manning. Of course, everyone knows him. Famous uncles, Peyton and Eli. Of course, Father Cooper. Comes from a long football lineage. I mean, what was your first reaction when you saw Arch Manning say, you know what, I'm committing to the Texas Longhorns over others like Alabama and Georgia, for instance?
That was huge for this program, this organization. In Austin, University of Texas is like the pro team here. So when we got that news, it was almost like signing a big time free agent. So it was weird, but at the same time, the whole city's excited. We're all waiting for him. Can't wait till he straps up. We know he comes from that huge family, the Mannings. So we know he's going to come with a huge work ethic, a lot of motivation to prove a lot of people wrong. And at the same time, back to winning ways. That's what everybody wants. They want University of Texas. College football is great, but it's even greater when Texas and these big time programs are back to their winning ways. And hopefully Coach Sark and the rest of the company can help turn that around.
So we'll see what happens. Of course, Texas might actually finally be back in the right ways, of course, when they finally see what happens here in 2022 and moving forward. One more for you, Brian Orakpo with me on the College Football Daily, the 4-time Pro Bowler, Big 12 Defensive Player of the Year, and, of course, former national champion with the Texas Longhorns. Brian, got to ask you, I'm pretty sure I know where you're going to go with this one on this next question, but I need your prediction. Texas versus Oklahoma, who wins, score? What do you got for me?
Man, that's very easy. Texas Longhorns, of course. I got 31-28.
31-28. I love it. Texas is the winner this weekend, according to Brian Orakpo. But of course, I mean, I would not expect anything else. Brian, I appreciate you joining me today, man, on the College Football Daily. Best of luck to you in your future endeavors as well. And we'll see if the Texas Longhorns can be winners once again this weekend.
Absolutely. I appreciate it. Thanks for having me. Also, check out the Titans social media page, Instagram, Twitter, for the event this Sunday with Caesar and our pet-friendly tailgate home game experience. Appreciate it.
You heard the man, Brian Orakpo, with me on the College Football Daily. You can follow me on Twitter, of course, at Nick Kosko 59. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe to this video on YouTube as well. And of course, check out our podcast wherever you might be listening to them, Spotify, Apple, or whatever the case may be. Once again, I am Nick Kosko saying so long. This has been the College Football Daily right here on 24/7 Sports.